Rheims New Testament in a year, week 19, day 5, Matthew 27. So we're coming up near the end of the book of Matthew. This week we're praying for God's help in destroying our idols so that we may continue to be written in his book, right? We make idols of so many things, of our work, of technology, of fame, of food, some of us, of drugs, right? We have to give up these idols and put the Lord first. And we need the Lord's help. The Lord will help us if we ask for it. Isaiah 46, 1 and 2. Bel is broken. Nebo is destroyed. Their idols are put upon beasts and cattle. Your burdens of heavy weight, even unto weariness. They are consumed and are broken together. They could not save him that carried them. And they themselves shall go into captivity. Jubilate Deo, sing joyfully to God, all the earth. Serve ye the Lord with gladness. Come in before his presence with exceeding great joy. Know ye that the Lord, he is God, he made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Go ye into his gates with praise, into his courts with hymns, and give glory to him. Praise ye his name, for the Lord is sweet, his mercy endureth forever, and his truth to generation and generation. Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 27, the continuation of the history of the Passion of Christ, his death and burial. And when morning was come, all the chief priests and the ancients of the people took counsel against Jesus, that they may put him to death. And they brought him bound and delivered him to Pontius Pilate the governor. Then Judas, who betrayed him, seeing that he was condemned, repenting himself, brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and ancients, saying, I have sinned and betrayed innocent blood. But they said, What is that to us? Look thou to it. And casting down the pieces of silver to the temple, he departed, and went and hanged himself with an halter. But the chief priests, having taken the pieces of silver, said, It is not lawful to put them into the carbona, because it is the price of blood. And after they had consulted together, they brought with them the potter's field, to be a burying place for strangers. For this cause that field was called Hakaldama, that is, the field of blood, even to this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was prized, whom they prized as the children of Israel. And they gave them unto the potter's field, as the Lord appointed to me. And Jesus stood before the governor. And the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? Jesus saith to him, Thou sayest. And when he was accused by the chief priests and ancients, he answered nothing. Then Pilate saith to him, Dost thou not hear the great testimonies they allege against thee? And he answered him never a word, and that the governor wondered exceedingly. Now upon the solemn day the governor was accustomed to release to the people one prisoner whom they would. And he had then a notorious prisoner that was called Barabbas. They therefore began gathering together. Pilate said, Whom will you that I release to you, Barabbas or Jesus that is called the Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. And as he was sitting in the place of judgment, his wife sent to him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and ancients persuaded the people that they should ask Barabbas, and make Jesus away. And the governor answering said to them, Whether will you of the two to be released unto you? But they said, Barabbas. Pilate saith to them, What shall I do then with Jesus that is called the Christ? They say all, Let him be crucified. The governor said to them, What evil hath he done? But they cried out the more, saying, Let him be crucified. And Pilate, seeing that he prevailed nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, taking water, washed his hands before the people. I am innocent of the blood of this just man. Look you to it. And the whole people answering saith, His blood be upon us and upon our children. Then he released them Barabbas, and having scourged Jesus, delivered him unto them to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor, taking Jesus into the hall, gathered together unto him the whole band. And stripping him, they put a scarlet cloak about him, and plaiting a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand, and bowing a knee before him, they mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And spitting upon him, they took the reed, and struck his head. And after they had mocked him, they took off the cloak from him, and put on him his own garments, and led him away to crucify him. And going out, they found a man of Cyrene named Simon. Him they forced to take up the cross. And they came to a place that is called Golgotha, which is the place of Calvary. And they gave him wine to drink mingled with gall. And when he had tasted, he would not drink. And after they had crucified him, they divided his garment, casting lots, that they might be fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet. They divided my garments amongst them. Upon the vestures they cast lots. And they sat and watched him, and they put over his head his cause written, This is Jesus, King of the Jews. Then were crucified with him 2 thieves, one on the right and one on the left. And they that passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads, and saying, Va, thou hast destroyed the temple of God, and in 3 days doth rebuild it. Save thy own self, if thou be the Son of God. Come down from the cross. In like manner also the chief priests, with the scribes and ancients mocking, said, He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him now be delivered him, if he will have him, for he said, I am the Son of God. And the selfsame thing the thieves also, that were crucified with him, reproached him with. Now from the 6th hour there were darkness over the whole earth, until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried in a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani? That is, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And some of that stood there and heard this said, This man calleth Elias. And immediately one of them running took a sponge and filled it with vinegar, and put it on a reed and gave it him to drink. And the other says, Let us see whether Elias will come to deliver him. And Jesus again, crying a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in two from top even to the bottom, and the earth quaked, and rocks were rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints that had slept arose. And coming out of the tombs after his resurrection came the holy city and appeared to many. Now the centurion that they that were with him watching Jesus, having seen the earthquake and the things that were done, were sore afraid, saying, Indeed, this is the Son of God. And there were many women afar off, who had followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him. Among them were Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. And when it was evening, there came a certain rich man of Arimathea named Joseph, who also himself was a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and asked the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded that the body should be delivered. And Joseph, taking up the body, wrapped it up in a clean linen cloth, and laid it in a new monument, which he had hewed out of a rock. And he rolled a great stone to the floor of the monument and went his way. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the sepulchre. And the next day, which followed the day of preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees came together to Pilate, saying, Sir, we have remembered that the seducer said, while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again. Command therefore the sepulchre to be guarded until the 3rd day, lest perhaps his disciples come and steal him away, and say to the people, He is risen from the dead, and the last error shall be worse than the first. Pilate said to them, You have a guard. Go, guard it as you know. And they departing, made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone, and setting guards.